Okay, let's get into it. Let's go. Okay, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is gonna be a good one. Let me tell you, it's gonna be a good one. I was really anxious about this video when I first decided to do it because, you know, who knows what people will say these days. But I feel like I've been in the game for a while and like people have gotten to know me as Sydel Curry Lee. So I feel like you guys have seen like all of these stages that I've been through. So I wanted to do this video just to like set something straight, because why not? I don't even know if I said what this video is, but you probably already know what it is by now after the reading the title, but this is an assumptions video. And we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. We're gonna read through these assumptions that people have about me, and we're gonna answer them. We're gonna set them straight, right, Quavy? I love how whenever I do like sit down videos, he's right here with me always. We're gonna take a deep breath. And we're gonna do this. Okay. Oh, the first one's like reminder. You are a strong, independent woman who rallies for those with mental health. That's so sweet. Thank you. This is Graysville Bay Area. Thank you. You're so sweet, and I'm gonna get one of your charcuterie boards one day. You guys are so nice. Like literally the first 8 are so nice. I assume that you're so much stronger than your anxiety, and soon you'll be anxiety free. I hope so. I don't know if it's possible to be like 100% anxiety free. I should do my research on that. I wish you could be 100% anxiety free. But I think that's like a thing that goes with you always. I think the most important thing about anxiety is like learning your triggers and finding healthy ways to deal with those triggers, because that's what it is. Someone assume, no, okay. I don't know, should I do, like a lot of these are really nice, so I'm like, maybe I have this thing in my head where I think people assume bad things about me. And you guys actually, like, I'm doing a really good job at showing you who I really am, what I really am on my social media. So, I mean, I'm gonna give myself a little pat on the back, because like that's all I wanna do is just be my true self and show who I truly am. And maybe I've blocked all of my haters. Maybe I didn't give this video a chance to really be juicy, because all of my haters are blocked and they can't see my posts. I'm crying. Okay. I assume that you don't know how awesome we think you are. Okay, so that was, I think I just answered that assumption. Like, I think that this, like, one of the downhill parts about mental health is like you have this augmented reality of what's really going on, and like you don't necessarily know what, your reality is just different from everyone else's through your own eyes. And so like your anxiety and your depression and all your other mental health issues can like cloud your, like, not cloud your judgment, but just cloud a lot of real facts about you. And so you always assume the worst, and that's kind of the case with me. Is like I feel like like I said, I do my best to show you guys who I really am and how much I really do care about you guys, and how much like I just care about people in general, and just want to live like a fun and uplifting life. So I guess like you guys are seeing that, and it actually makes me really happy. Maybe that's why I was supposed to get out of this video. It's like, Sydel, you're doing the right thing. Like you're doing everything correctly. Not that I'm a perfect person. That's also it. I'm the furthest thing from a perfect person, like the furthest. I think I could be a better friend. I think I could be a better sister, a better wife, a better daughter. Like I feel like I can do so much better in every single category of my life. And so I pay more attention to the negative parts than I do the positive parts. So yeah, maybe that's my issue. You get sick of basketball sometimes. Not at all. Not at all. I don't think. I haven't seen basketball in so long. At this point, I'm like dying for basketball. I'm literally dying to hear a ball dribble, like a current day ball dribble, not like a old game that they're playing on NBA TV and ESPN. Like I want to hear a brand new jump ball or watch a brand new game on TV. I don't get sick of basketball. I love basketball, and like even during the off seasons, I'm like, geez, like I miss basketball. I'm ready for it to come back. Someone says you seem fragile, like you get an emotional breakdown easily. Don't take it as a negative. I think it depends on the day for 100%. Like you could breathe wrong around me and I'll not get upset, but like I'll just be like, oh my god, you're mad at me. Are you mad at me? Like something's not right, something's wrong. I just think that comes with being like an anxious person. Like I can come off pretty fragile, but that just means I have to be more like cognizant and more on top of my anxiety and my triggers. That's a huge thing. Triggers. I have to be more conscious of my triggers and pay more attention to like what goes on around me, so that I don't have any like breakdowns super easily. I assume that you're close to your mom. So I am now. When I was growing up, being the only girl, me and my mom have always been like this to a certain extent because I'm the only girl and I'm the youngest. But like as any other mother-daughter relationship, we have gone through our our fair share of just battles and just we've had our times, okay? I was a teenager. I was a rebellious teenager. I mean, that's not an assumption here, but I'll tell you too straight, I was a rebellious teenager. I did things that I wasn't supposed to do. Not like crazy, but like I did get punished. I got my last spanking from my mom when I was 16. I did some like crazy stuff that I shouldn't have done. But like I was a teenager, so like that's just what I do. That's just what I do. No, it's not what I do, but that's just what happened. And you know, I'm not the only 16-year-old teenager to have done stuff like that. So we definitely clashed heads, but I think as soon as I went to college, I realized that like I needed my mom. And I realized how important it is to, you know, be able to have that role model in your life, to be able to go, especially as a married woman, to be going asking her for her advice and what she thinks about certain things. And I think we're at that level now where I'm able to really be able to accept what she says and to take that into consideration, because as a kid, like you're like, whatever, like you don't know what I'm going through, like I don't need to listen to you, and all you do is just tell me what to do anyways. So at the end of the day, me and my mom have a really good relationship now. There's something I can't tell her, just because like I know that she's been through it or a similar situation, and she can offer really good advice. So if you have that figure in your life, definitely take full advantage of it, because like there's no one smarter than our parents, because they have been through it. You seem like you would be a very shy person to talk to in person, if that makes sense. I'm actually I'm not shy. Like if someone were to come talk to me, I'm an open book, you guys. There has to be some level of openness and vulnerability for someone like me who shares the most vulnerable parts of her life, my mental health, with you guys. And so in person, like I want people to come up to talk to me all the time. Like I would prefer you come up and say hello to me and like talk to me than like stare at me or whisper to your friends or your family about who I am. I get that all the time. And sometimes I'll just wave, because it's okay to come talk to me. I'm not gonna ignore you. I'm not gonna be mean at all. Like that would just be a contradiction of my whole entire like brand if someone were to come say hello and I'd be like, hey, like, you know. So I'd rather you come talk to me. I won't be shy. I'll try to be very inviting, and you know, try to spark conversation and just get to know you, or at least just say hello back. So yeah, I don't think I've ever really been shy to anyone who's come and said hi to me. You're a daddy's girl. 100% a daddy's girl. I've always been a daddy's girl. Always. It's just something about my dad, like, or just something about, yeah, I don't know, like I feel like I talk to my mom more. I do talk to my mom more because my dad's just like a quiet guy and like whatever, but I've always been a daddy's girl. I want to cry whenever I say that, but just like my dad just holds a special place in my heart always. And yeah, something about being a little girl and like loving your daddy that will never go away, no matter how close you are to your mom as a grown-up. You don't like Aisha that much. No, that's crazy. That's absolutely insane. At one point, I didn't like her. And let me tell you when that was. The first 2 weeks that her and Stefan were dating. But that was just me being a little sister and being like, why are you all over my brother? Like, I ran a lot of Stefan's girlfriends away just because I was like really, really mean to them. But with Aisha, like, I act like I didn't like her for 2 weeks. I didn't know her, so I didn't know if I didn't like her or not, but I act like I didn't like her. I was mean to her, I ignored her, I like did all this stuff. And then 2 weeks later, like she's like the nicest person you'll ever meet, and it's impossible to not like her. So 2 weeks after they were like dating, we were like best friends. Like, I kid you not, like I was her maid of honor in her wedding. And that, like, you cannot not like her. I don't know why she gets so much stuff. I don't understand why people don't like her. It just really blows my mind. I've never really talked out about it because I just feel like sometimes you add fuel to fire and just people say stuff because they want attention. But those people who really don't like her, I honestly do not understand. I don't understand it at all. And for her to be who she is and have, I don't know why I'm getting so worked up, but for her to accomplish what she does and say what she feels and be honest and open about it and not hurting anybody. Like, who is she hurting? That's what I want to know. What have you, for those of you who are watching this video and you happen not to like her, what has she said about you that you personally? That's what I want to know. And tell me why you took so much offense to it, because I don't understand what her saying, anything that she said has created such a like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. So Aisha's one of the nicest people you ever met. She's hilarious. She's caring. I mean, I'm probably biased because she loves the heck out of my brother and she's a great mom to my nieces and nephew. And she's a really pivotal part of our family, but no, I love her. You were genuinely trying to help others by sharing your own life experiences. 100%. That's the only reason why I do it. The absolute only reason why I share my personal experiences is because I want to help other people and I know that it is helping. If I knew that me being vulnerable and opening myself up to so much criticism isn't helping anyone, why would I do that? Like, as a person who's like gets anxious about everything, why would I just open myself up to haters and criticism if it's not helping anyone, you know? So that's 100% true. Okay, I'm getting a lot that you're wealthy. I guess I'll answer this as best as I can. The overall, I think there's an assumption in here that, like, okay, the assumption is that I'm wealthy. Can I afford things? Yes. Oh, okay, let's just get serious about this and let me just not think about what other people are gonna say and let me just say what I have to say about this, because there are a lot of assumptions about my financials and stuff like that because of the family that I'm in and because of my husband and all that kinds of stuff, and let me just set it straight. I'm a very independent person. I've always been independent. Like I said, I've worked when the first opportunity I was able to get a job and work, I did. So I got a job, I want to say it's my junior year in college. I was a hostess at a restaurant, just because I liked making my own money. Have I asked my family members for money in the past? 100%. Like, I was a teenager in college and I was spending money like it grew on trees because I didn't know, like, I just didn't pay that much attention to money, and I would feel completely stupid when I have to text my dad and be like, hey dad, I need money. And like, I feel like I shouldn't feel stupid or embarrassed because, like, that's what your parents are for. Like, you know, if they're able to give you money, then they will. And I asked them, like, that's not a problem, but I still felt really like shameful for doing that. Not from them, just that was just my own feelings that I had. And I don't do any of the things that I do knowing that I have this like I have something to fall back on. I don't live my life like that, because that's just, to me, that's kind of humiliating, and that also doesn't that doesn't encourage me to be a better person and do things on my own. Do I make a good living for myself? I do. Yeah, I make enough money to I make enough money to be able to live my life, yes. Like, I think a lot of people think that because my family members are rich, they're just like, there's like an automatic deposit into my bank accounts every time they get a deposit, then like a certain percentage of their money goes into mine. Absolutely not. Like, that just does not happen. That shouldn't happen, because like I said, it doesn't really encourage me to live my life and make a living for myself, and that's what I always wanted to do. So yeah, like I make a living for myself. I do what I have to do. So yeah, like, excluding my husband's career, my family's career, with myself and what I do, I make a good living. I live in the Bay Area, so it doesn't come without its stressors. Like, I'm always stressing about money because like I live in a very expensive place, but you know, like, I'm not, yeah, I don't know if that answers the question, because money is a really weird thing to talk about, but that's my answer. No disrespect. My assumption is that you got your now husband a contact with the Warriors. Oh, what? Like, y'all are really killing me with this assumption, because it doesn't make sense. Like, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense as an organization to hire someone if you don't think that they're going to do anything for your organization. Like, at the end of the day, jobs, playing the NBA is a job, and that means that people are having to pay you, and so and they're paying you quite a bit of money. So why would someone pay someone else to do a job that they're not qualified to do? You know what I'm saying? So it just doesn't, that never made sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. My husband is a great basketball player. He has worked his butt off. He's worked his butt off to be where he is today, and I thank God every day, you know? Like, he worked his butt off. Don't take away what he's done just because he's playing with his brother-in-law. That always makes me mad, because I've actually watched him at a point in his life fight for what he has, and he's earned it. Not because of me, like, not at all. I don't have anything to do with that. I didn't even know he was going, like, that was, because when all this was happening, we weren't even married. We were just, we were boyfriend and girlfriend. You think that an organization is going to base hiring someone to pay for them because of his girlfriend? Like, seriously? Seriously? Well, the other assumption was that I married Damion because he was an NBA player. No, I actually told myself I was never going to date or marry an NBA player, because I just wasn't, I thought that I wasn't made for this life. Am I? But I just didn't think that, like, that was in the cards for me. And so when I met Damion, he was about to go, he was in the middle of training for pre-draft. Not met him, but when we started like talking, he was in the middle of training for pre-draft, and hand on Bible, I didn't even know like if he was good. I knew that he had went to Drexel, obviously, because that's when like I met him, and I knew that he played at Louisville, but I didn't watch Louisville play at all that year. I had no idea what position he was. I didn't know how tall he was. I didn't know if he was good. I didn't know if there was a chance he could be bad. I didn't even know if he would even get drafted. Like, I didn't care. I just like, this guy's cute. He's different. He's like, he's got the whole package. I don't really care. I guess that's weird. Like I didn't really care about his career. But at that point, I just didn't care. So no, I didn't marry him because he was an NBA player, and he wasn't an NBA player at that point either. So people might think you've never really had to work, born with a silver spoon in your mouth. So that's something that I've just kind of been fighting my whole entire life. I've actually tried to do a lot recently, like not recently, but like since I've started this whole social media thing, and creating my own name for myself, because I think growing up too, like I remember having a coach tell me that, which doesn't make sense because these are two different sports, but I had a coach tell me that they thought that the only reason that I was on the volleyball team was because of my family. What? not even the same sport. Like, okay, maybe my parents gave me my athleticism. I can't help that that athleticism is genetic. Like, that's just how I was born, you know? But I think that, like, my whole saying with that is, okay, maybe like I was invited into some rooms because of who I know and because of my family, but at the end of the day, I have to be able to stay in that room. And I have to be able to carry my own in that room, because if I'm just following my family around in the room, I'm gonna get, you know, overshined by who they are. But stepping out and being my own individual person, that keeps me in the room, and that keeps, so in that sense, like, that keeps my career going, that keeps my drive going, that keeps people wanting to work with me and get to know me because of who I am as an individual. Yeah, I've got that assumption all the time, and people may even like invite me into the room because of who I am, but they're very quick to know that I have my own thing, and maybe that's not what they're looking for. Maybe they're trying to, you know, go a different route, and then we're just not we're just not meant to work together, or we're not meant to do something together. But at the end of the day, like, I'm my own person, and I've worked really hard to get where I'm at, and I'm proud of that. Damion was your first real boyfriend. Not sure why. I think probably because y'all have just connected. P.S. You're my fave. Oh, thanks, sweets. No, Damion was not my first real boyfriend. I had 3 like pretty serious boyfriends. Nah, what's pretty serious? Well, I had 3 like boyfriends before him, and all of those relationships were a little over a year long. You believe in Jesus, but you don't go to church that often. True. I do believe in Jesus, 100%. I went to church all the time back home since I was born through high school. I was at church Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Wednesdays. And then I went to college. Like, college is such a weird time. I feel like for like a spiritual person and a religious person going to college, especially if it's not a Christian college, you gotta kind of take it all into yourself. Like, you guys gotta handle it all yourself. And then when I moved out here, I just find churches in California are a lot different than churches back home. And because I'm such a nostalgic person and I like feeling at home somewhere, it's just been a little bit more difficult for me to find like a home church in California. Granted, I haven't really tried that hard. I mean, I have gone to church since being here, and some haven't had the most great experience with. But no, like, I would love to find a home church in California. I just haven't found it yet. But yeah, I 100% believe in Jesus. And I don't necessarily think that you have to go to church to be a Christian. I do think it's like a solid plus. Like, going to church on Sundays and then coming out, I just feel so good. Like, I feel so happy and stuff like that. So I love going to church. It's just an amazing feeling. Like, there's nothing like being in a room full of people who believe in the same thing you do, and who worship the same God that you do, and love God as much as you do. So yeah, if that answers your question. So I was in the middle of filming, and I had to come back and refilm a couple of, like, the last part, because my camera messed up, so I'm just gonna refilm some stuff. So I had to take my lashes off because they were like falling off. So if I look different, that's why. So the assumption is you kept the last name Curry for work opportunities. I have always said that I was going to hyphen my last name. I just think that, like, I like my last name. I mean, for work opportunities, yes. I created my brand with like, as my name, Sydel Curry, before I was married. My YouTube is a Curry Girl, so it just wouldn't make sense for me to like change my last name completely, like take out Curry all the way, because like people are gonna be like, who's Sydel Lee, you know? But also, I'm really proud of my family. I love my family's name. I feel super connected to my family. So it has more to do, even so, like I said, I've always planned to hyphenate my name even before I started my brand, because again, I'm just super connected to my last name and my family, and it just makes sense for me to hyphenate my last name. And plus, like, Curry Lee just sounds so good, does it not? Like, my husband's last name is fire, my maiden name is fire. Put the two together, it's flames, you know? You hate when people assume you're pregnant. Ask when the baby's coming. You already know. that's a whole other video in itself, which I will not be depriving you guys of. I know that, just know that it hasn't been easy. Just know that it has not been easy, and when people ask about it, doesn't make it any easier, but there will be a whole, I'm not gonna deprive you guys about my journey, or our journey through this whole thing. So if I seem annoyed all the time when people ask me, it's not just because, like, partly it's because like people really shouldn't be asking women that, because you don't know what's going on, but also like you really don't know what's going on. And I know people are saying it out of like the kindness of their heart, and they just really want like to see what our kids look like. Trust me, I do too, but it's just not as easy as people think it is. I assume you feel like it's harder to trust people based on who your family is. I feel like I'm 25 years in the game. My dad's been famous before I was born, so I learned the hard way that like how people really are and like people's true intentions. But I really have like, feel like I've just like have this really good intuition about people and why they're around. Yes, it's hard for me to make really close friends. I have made one close friend since college, and like in California, and she's been like a true godsend. But that's it. Like, I've been in California for 3 years, and I have yet to make a friend who I will let into my house and like really spill my guts to, because people can be, you know, people can be sneaky and snakes, and they can really have an agenda. I don't go into like talking to people thinking that they have an agenda. I'll go to each person the same way, and like first impressions all the same. I'll treat everyone the same, but I pretty much have a good instinct about, you know, if people are being genuine, and if they're curious about me and they want to get to know me, or if they're just trying to get through me to go to someone else. So yeah, I think I've built a pretty good like intuition for that, but it is quite difficult. You dismiss the word of God when it doesn't suit you. In quotations, homosexuality and astrology. Okay, so I'm gonna just I'm going to address the homosexuality and astrology, because probably you've asked this because you see that I have like gay friends, and also I like post this I post this one astrology page that I follow. So when it comes to homosexuality and like having friends and family members, I'm not here to judge anyone. I follow the Bible, but like, if I were to treat someone or have a phobia towards someone because of how they live their life, I don't think that I would be living Christ-like, if that makes sense. Like, in the Bible, Jesus went to, I don't remember the exact name, but there's a story where Jesus goes to a prostitute, and everyone's like, oh, Jesus, how could you? She's a prostitute. And he treats her exactly the same as he would treat anyone else. And people were just like so appalled by that. But like, he's spreading love. So who am I to judge someone on what could be wrong when I could also be, like, I'm a sinner. I'm a human. Humans are sinners. And so I have my own things. Like, when judgment day comes and Jesus stands in front of me and he says, Sydel, these are all the things that you did wrong and that you sinned. Why would I be judging someone else when I have my own stuff to worry about, right? I'm going to love each individual person based on who they are and how they are towards me. That's just what that's just how I feel about it, and that is what that's what it is. I just don't feel that's my right to sit there and not be friends or judge someone because they're gay. As far as astrology goes, I don't wake up every day, read my horoscope. I don't act a certain way because this is what my horoscope says. I think that astrology is just like interesting. I'm a psychology major, so I'm curious about people, and I'm curious about people's minds and like why humans do what they do. And astrology is just interesting to me because, like, yeah, I have a Libra scale on my arm because my husband and I are both Libras, and I'm the 20th, he's the 21st of October, and so that's just really cool to me that we're so close to each other. And it's also really weird that like we're different but the same. But like, if I like, for the astrology page that I follow, I think it's hilarious how people can act similar because of their birthdays. like that's just what it is. And I think it's also interesting how because I was born on October 20th, that I have these certain personality traits, and I think it's hilarious that like it matches. Again, I don't live my life by astrology whatsoever. I just think it's fascinating that because me and Bob have the same birthday, we're similar. That's all that is. You don't like being in the public eye / famous. I really don't mind being in the public eye. The only time that I do mind it is when we're like out to dinner with like, especially Stefan, Aisha, and Seth and Cal. Like when we're all together as a family, it does get a bit annoying when we're trying to have like family moments at like dinners and stuff, and people are just really invading our privacy. It's like, for example, last year it was Riley's 7th birthday, and we went out to dinner to celebrate her 7th birthday. We were in like a semi-private room at the restaurant, but people were literally standing outside, like right at the door. Like the door, there was no like door to close, but the entrance, people were standing outside the entrance, and they had shoes and they had autographs, like they wanted him to sign autographs, and they were like yelling Steph from like the entrance. And it's just like, okay, we're trying to have a family moment. Like we're trying to celebrate Riley's birthday. He's trying to celebrate the birth of his daughter. She's trying to celebrate the birth of her daughter, and we're just trying to be a family in a normal family in a public place. And when people are like yelling Steph and Aisha from across the room and also disrupting other people's like time, that's just rude to me, and I would never do that to someone. But that's the only time it gets quite annoying. Other than that, it's like, it's cool. Like, yeah, it's cool. That's the only time I really don't like it. I think they're used to it by now. I'm just not used to it because that doesn't happen to me on a daily basis. Like I can go out to the grocery store and like be pretty normal. But I guess if you live that every day, you kind of get used to it. But I'm always like, can you not? Like this, you're being rude. I will tell someone that they're being rude in a minute, because like just keep in mind that normal people, when we want to have normal experiences, just at least to be able to celebrate a 7-year-old's birthday. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Everything else, everyone's just being so nice. They assume that I'm a very determined person. You seem the sweetest, so I want to be friends with. You're awesome. I don't have any assumptions about you. I just think you're a really awesome person. Like everyone's just being so sweet and so supportive, and I really appreciate that. So thank you guys for watching this video and for for bearing with me with the technical difficulties. I don't know why my camera did this, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you like this video. Also, if you want me to do a video about all the jobs that I've had, go ahead and leave that. Give this a thumbs up as well if you want that video, so I could talk to you guys about all the jobs that I've had. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that post notification button if you want to be informed of all my future uploads. But yeah, I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Mwah.